So I met Dr. Jeff Golini back in 2003, and the first time we actually ever met was at the Excalibur Hotel in Las Vegas, and I was there for the Mr. Olympia that year. I was with some guys that I was helping do some advertising for. They tried to start their own brand. They were actually based out of Canada, and they wanted me to come and just kind of see the show, get a feel for it. I'd always wanted to go, and so hey, why not, right? And Jeff was their contract manufacturer. So I remember walking into there and they had called him to come down, and I remember shaking hands with him and just thought, wow, this is so cool because this guy does so much of what I would always dreamed I wanted to do. To make a long story short, we ended up working the show together. Our booths were literally side by side, and he was there representing All American Pharmaceutical and just their basic product line. Creatine actually was one of the products there. And I was with these guys. I just talked to him literally the whole time. And I think he was a little surprised at how much I knew about the supplement world. But what he didn't know is I've been already into it by that point for probably 15 years. I mean, just, being a teenager, training, that type of thing. He saw some of the stuff I was doing with those guys and said, hey, we've got this cool product. It's called Creatine. I mean, is that something you think you could help me with? And I'm like, of course I could. Because I knew at the time creatine monohydrate was such a big selling product, and he had the golden goose for it. He just didn't have the marketing capability to really get the word out to the marketplace. So actually at that time we joined forces on it. My brother-in-law actually came on board with me, and we built an entire campaign, entire branding, logos, labels, etc., the ads, and just kind of it all took off from there. And I remember distinctly one funny story is the first ad I wrote for him was pretty inflammatory. And the reason I did it that way is because we had to get somebody's attention. We couldn't just say, hey, cool, neat, new creatine product. And we really hit on the finer points of what that product was about, that it doesn't convert to creatinine. So we kind of centered it around that. And I remember sending it for approval to Jeff. And he looked at it and he calls me. He's like, hey, man, I don't know about this thing. Are you sure? And I said, run it. He goes, are you sure? And I said, run it. Trust me. And that was the beginning of everything at that point. Then we started doing all kinds of crazy stuff.